wall of Nexus. So the last house for today, I happened upon just randomly visiting. A lot of these earlier ones that we've been checking out have been uh, ones that were listed for Black Dagger Society's Winterfest housing competition. But this one I ran across a little bit ago when I went to check out some houses on this side. This is Mahana Kainoa, I think. Kainoa or Kayanoa. A little sunk down in the ground to start off with, but you can see how well they covered up the entranceway here. Somehow they even managed to get, I suspect I don't know if it's, I honestly don't know what it is. I guess it's a combination of massive umbrella trees to make this kind of slope here. Make it feel like a little bit of a hill rather than just a flat entrance. That's why when you first come in, you're a little bit inside the ground. But look at all the stones and stuff, and like the mossy bits, all of the flowers, um, the little mushroom log. You know, if you're at all familiar with how that boundary works around the teleport pad, you know there's just not an entire, you know, freedom as far as how close you can get to it, what exactly will fit between it and the barrier of the edge of the plot. So I'm always amazed at people finding ways of uh, blocking it in so cleverly. But this one you can see they've got stepping stones from Starcom Basin. This bit here looks like, this reminds me of the bottom of the mossy overgrowth, the giant tree. And then these here are like, I don't know if it's the Draken fence posts or the makeshift bulletin board that's just upside down and we're seeing the rocks. But it just looks like a nice, a different way. You know, we don't see this kind of covering too much, but they've got 4 pillars, and then it looks like it's topped one of those mossy trees. But it's called Marauder Hideaway. So straight away you have this like little warning sign almost. It's actually the copper gate, and they just topped it with that actual protostar warning sign. Lots of mossy overgrowth to kind of show that it's a little bit jungly. Go through the Moody Gate and you come upon this really weird setting. For a while I thought, wow, the lighting is really dark here, but my camera is behind my character, so I'm still actually viewing the plot behind the waterfall, so you can see how dulled it looks. But if I get past it with my camera, you can see that the waterfall actually is running in front of the entrance here. So it's like it's hiding it. And then, whoops, you know, once you get past your camera, gets past the waterfall, you can see how bright and colorful this place actually is and how complex. I mean, it just keeps going up and up and up. So we got a lot to look at here. So again, we've got a lot of the gray stones, stepping stones. I think this is the new rope bridges that we've gotten in the housing vendor, along with some of those Draken gates, I think. Um, I have no idea where I'm supposed to start on this, so forgive me if I kind of go around and around a little bit, but it's just going to be kind of me feeling out what we're supposed to be doing. So yeah, this part here is supposed to act like an elevator of sorts. Basically, it's the, I think it's called the low grav pads fab kit. They've just covered it up with their own stuff, including like the exile barricade thing. I see some, looks like the that new Macari table that's got that design. Also got the windmill deal. Looks like a Protostar platform as well. And then of course like the exile generators on the side. There's the spaceship windows. There's a lot of pieces going into this little construction here. Um, we'll go up to that later. We're going to save that. We're going to hit the things that I can get to down, from down here. So again, there's a lot of, you can see there's a lot of interconnectivity. There's tubes going here and there. There's the little port this way. Let's check out this over here. Got the waterfall with a little gondola on the roof. See, they've tried covering up most of that awful edging where the little bits are showing through. For this rock wall here, rock face, that's those taurine head statues. We're just seeing the backs of them. They're really great. They have that little bit of mossy coloring, nice little markings and bits, and that's where the waterfall is coming out of. Better look. You can see how there's rock actually all across the top. Like we're kind of in a cave, but not. There's like openings with sky up here. Again, this is that entrance where they've got a double waterfall there. But they used a lot of those taurine heads, some of the stone for the big slabs. So let's just walk off to the side here. And I don't know what order I'm supposed to go in. I'm just checking it out. So this is an actual fab kit. I think it's called the customization fab kit, where you can come and access appearance spinner, rune thing. And they have it built up and around, so it's all, see there's like some Marauder shelving on the sides. They got some posters blocking it in as well. One of those Chumbacamba skulls. I even see some of that fencing from the Osun graded floor panel bit. And they have it connected, this part here, little lab works. So you can see they have like some hydroponics going on where they're growing some plants. These are just the portable planters, little bushes in there. I see vent tanks. Those are the Granock faux hatches. And then you see some soul frost piping as well. Kind of tie it all together. That here, all interconnected piping. Some of this is the Protostar hatcheries and others is just the soul frost containers. Notice how they're all interconnected with different types of piping. Now this is actually the Osun tank or canister. It's got that leaky stuff out of it. And it's actually sitting on top of one of those clunky fire extinguishers, the thing that a lot of people like to use for aquariums. They're just setting it on top so that you get this little piping, the tubing from this little swirly tank. And over here, they're using some of the spring flowers as another type of hydroponics. I think that's what it's called. It's like growing waters with lots of water sources. So again, a lot of soul frost piping added in. Got the air conditioner here. These little plants in the pots, those are some of those from the spring decor pack as well, same as these little flower groupings. Notice this one hanging here. Now that little animation that you see on the bottom, that's one of those haunted Shades Eve items. If I cleansed it, it would go away for a little bit and then it'll come back on its own. Those are the pool table lights. And the little puffs of smoke that you see every now and then, I believe that's the animation from the hookah, the lop hookah, and they've just got them oversized and hidden down beneath so that the smoke comes up and makes it look a little interesting there. See, this actually extends up further, but they're using it almost looks like some kind of grid fencing using for the walls. Metal containers for the base bottoms. For that gear there, that's a giant gear trophy. This is the next floor, and they're using the Exile message board as kind of the doorway. You just kind of step through it. This looks like a little practice area where they come and test their weaponry. So they got a few lockers, some trophies, some weapon racks, and then their target. It's for practice. Again, thank you guys for the hosting. I appreciate it. Again, you can see they're using that Osun metal flooring quite a bit. It looks like they've got it layered up a couple of times. Can't really tell. What this. I have a feeling I'm going to miss some stuff on this plot. There's so much to look at. You can see again the complexity. You've got the stone uh, like bridge there. You've got the metal buildings there. You can see a lot of the tubing and glass walkways. So here's some kind of a control room, basically inside one of the bunker houses. I think it's, yeah, the Exile bunker house. Looks almost like a fueling station as well. So I guess it's the for this ship here. Notice this bit here and the bottom of the little bunker house here are suitcases, the metal suitcases with the, I think it's the cosmetronic fencing. You just don't see the zigzaggy part that has that little bit of animation, looks like heart rate or something. Of course, again, a great use of the welder NPCs, using them as repair people. I've seen some use them just the animation part itself. It's a little tougher to do that without having the person visible because they do kind of go borky. But usually it's repairing. I've seen a few using it for like showing that somebody's having an actual gunfight kind of deal. I suspect the little flashing lights are the sparking wires. They're just oversized and hidden. So down here is where they forge some of the parts, I guess, for the planes or the ships. Some of the taurine bits, yeah, spaceship parts like the engines and things. This, of course, is that daily login reward, the Argo Holler, I think it's what it's called. using to transport those slave cages. Just a reminder, if you haven't reached the daily login that awards this or any other decor piece, but you know of someone that has, they can actually go onto your plot as a roommate and purchase those items for you, even if you don't have access for them. The same is true for all of the firework decor from the Starfall event. If someone's unlocked it and you either missed out um, or whatever, or are new to the game or something, and are really wanting to get a hold of some of that, you can actually have someone that's unlocked it on their character, roommate that character, and then they can purchase those items for you. I've done that for a number of players that just didn't get a chance to get those pieces. So just a heads up on that. So, if you see a lot of us using those particular pieces like the crane or the fireworks, and you wish that you had gotten hold of it and think that you just have to wait until next year, that's not necessarily true. Go up this. So I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. Some kind of major generator. It could be something down below that I just don't know yet. You can see there's like I guess this is like a bar or something because there's a DJ up here. He's got a lot of technophage items going on. There's the Orin Bridge. I see metal edged blocks and 2x4s. There's some Soul Frost. This here is one of those end caps from the Palaver Point Daily. Of course, they've got the Ferris wheel fab kit that a lot of people like. You can actually ride it and take a look up. We'll be riding it later probably or possibly to get to this upper area here, unless there is an alternative path. But I think this part here in front is the one of the Marauder fab kits. I don't recall the name offhand, but then it leads off into this part that they set up, this little arcade room. So similar idea as the plot that we visited before, but again, it's designed differently. Like the little arcade booth here is a combination of um, looks like Dominion pieces, the spaceship windows, and then like the neon signs, the blue one, I think it's Star Beer sign, edges for a little bit of that neon glow. Then of course you've got, it looks like that, oh, what is it? The Macari table, along with this little sign here with the 3 buttons. That's the Gatorade machine, and they've just pushed it far enough back so you just see the little symbols rather than the machine itself. Um, this part here is an Exile tactical table. Then you've got bits of, looks like one of those medical body scanners of some sort. And then several of the ship windows for the stairs. And then this looks like one of the bits off the taco stand, actually. And then they got the little Eldon cubes. So it's like a little 3-dimensional version of this game that you can, which I thought was kind of nice. Here is their version, I think, of, I actually don't know. It looks like a crane game again, just set up a little differently. Rather than the crane hanging from the top, they've got it attached to the back here. The plushie pile is here. They grab a plushie and they put it down the chute and it comes out the other end. Growing, QB. Growing every day. The more people stop asking how's the population and just join the game, the better. um, it's getting a big push for the new update that's coming next month. But yeah, it's kind of a tight-knit group, but I've heard people talking about seeing new players in the starter zones every day. Lots of people leveling. Obviously, you're going to notice a bigger portion of the population in the high-end areas. Once you get to Thade, you'll start seeing a lot of the level 50 players, because most of us that are still here have been around since the beginning, so we're all at the cap level. Um, but like I said, we're seeing new players and players that are coming back and starting over because there's been some significant changes in um, uh, just regular like skills and stuff that have not forced people but have encouraged people to start new characters to kind of relearn how to play it. Yeah, exactly, boy. So a lot of this is the technophage items, like this is technophage doors for this tube here. You've got, I think this is one of the turrets for this little bit here. You can see it kind of moving just a little bit. And again, for this little outline of the neon, it's basically those beer signs again. And again, the Gatorade machine for this little decoration back here. Here we have those standalone, come as they are arcade cabinets, but then they've taken the whole, I guess these are some of the carpets, animated bits for all of these little wall things. You see some of the Retros cubes, some of the arcade panels. I think this is just an oversized arcade game, actually, since it's blinking. And then a lot of the Red Moon decor, the panels, the rotating bar, the seating, the stools, all of that is from the Red Moon decor kit. This up here with the little drink, I think that's part of the summer decor pack, little beach parasol thing. This bit here, I suspect, is like maybe just some little video games. It could be like slots machines or something. Looks like someone spent a lot of time here with that pile of beer cans. And then over here is like more like maybe it's the cash exchange or ATMs or something, or just another version of an arcade game. Again, using a lot of the technophage items. I see a canister there, some of the circuitry, and a lot of that. I see even what is that, a winged urn, little protostar machine, a couple of those spaceship windows, graded floor panels. This bit down here is, again, I think a lot of this here is that fab kit. And this is where you get access to the bunker house. But you can see there's a lot going on here. They're using like the Osun floor panel, the graded floor panel there. There's this, you can see the emblem from, I think it's the metal sigil showing up here. This little markings, including the corner, I think, is part of the, like an oversized tactical table, but just sunk down just enough where you only see the little symbol in the middle moving around. This was the Osun door. Everybody loves it because of the animation it has. The Marauder netting shelf has that nice honeycomb pattern, kind of like the exterior walls of the plot. We'll come back to the bunker house. Again, still able to fit in their fab kits with like this is the banking one, this is the hot springs one, but they've added a lot around it and to it. Like they've got the little gold pot here, with the pile of treasure in the front. They've capped it with one of those Draken Emporium shops there. They've added a lot of flowers and mushrooms to this particular one, palm trees, and just kind of dressed of it. Makes it blend really nicely with this particular thing. I don't know here. This really big gear, I suspect it's from one of the grills, like the one with the pig being cooked on it. Can't really hear it. I have my sound turned down, but I suspect that's what it is. It could be the dredge windmill as well. That also has a working gear. But I think they just wanted to add a little bit of animation to the water tank. That there, I think, is one of the Osun cryopods. Don't know if we're really meant to go up this. Try it. Uh, Maybe we'll be rewarded with a good view of the plot from this. Oh no, I'm falling down. Again, fair warning, I'm the worst at these jumping bits. I guess we'll just get up to this point. At least good shot. Like here's another view of the plot. You see all of the buildings. Oh, it's all these different levels and ways of getting to it. Yeah, see, I suspect it's one of these dredge mills or dredge windmills or something for that giant gear down below. Looks like a little lop area right there. I'm sure this is also one of those plots that you might visit more than a few times, and every time you discover something, you notice the time before. This appears to be a little shop. So this little rug type of thing right off the bat, that's just one of the edges of one of the, I think it's the Humble Gift, Winterfest gift. You can see they're using those neon signs again, but they've color shifted a couple of them, like just to make it a little bit different. So you've got some armor displays, weaponry over here. Got the cashier section there. And the signs are the Gatorade machine, and if you push it just far enough where the machine itself disappears, you can get just the emblem. I did the same thing with my mall, getting a few things. Well, actually, I think it was when I had the subway station. Oops. The countertop here is that charming bar, and I believe it's the same thing that's making these shelves. This charming bar is just very enlarged and being used as the building itself. So here you have more weaponry, more gear. Okay, let's see. Next, back in. Follow the tube. Made me a little nervous because it looks like there's nothing there, but it's some glass. So here's like a bunker of sorts. You can see there's beds, lockers, little gaming table for them. Sorry, someone was asking about touring their house. Letting them know that they can give me the name of it and I'll look into it by adding it to the. Because yeah, this is the last house for today. Going into anymore. So they're using some of their summer decor pack here for a little terrace, roasting some burgers or something. Let me just write that name down for. Okay. And see, went the one way. Let's go further up. Oh, don't get stuck in there. So again, another little view and see some of the places we've been. Inside the center here. So we had the bunker house below. This is more of like a personal area where it's a living room kind of deal. You can see how like they have their clock inset inside, life preserver. So it has again, the marauder feeling, the pirate feeling. They've got a lot of the anchor, the nautical wheels, nautical furniture, that kind of thing. The little fish mailbox. Fits with the theme. And then you come to the little, I guess it'd be the game room, meeting room for whoever lives here. So we saw the pinball machines from the previous plot. This one has the same idea, but they took it a little bit more elaborate as far as the details that they've put into it. So you have the little, I think this is the little thing that you like pull out and pop the ball. And then I guess you use these little panels here for the flippers. But you can see it looks like the kind of hard to tell from vantage. Let me see if I can just zoom in here. So you've got it looks like the handles of some swords for the flippers. It looks like they've got some Dominion, either the bunker houses or the little arms. Um, there's even some hover park pieces and curved glass for some of the ramps and bits. Got some of those uh, signs, the little arrows pointing. You see the little tube where the ball, here's where you would, like the little thing when you pull it back, it'd pop the ball out into the gameplay. Of course, you've got the travel poster as the base background of it. You've got this little symbol, again, that's part of the Gatorade machine. This and this one here is Gatorade machine. Makes it look like a little hazard spot. They've even got some strain bits. These look like the early warning system with the little bird in the bird cage. There's some I think it's technophage emitters. It's those ones that's got the three little panels and it's kind of got a glowy bit. I think that's what these are here. You can see, I think that's the free-bought, um, some kind of generator thing. It's got that little, the two blue panels running around. And then that's that Eldon dome bit that the ball shoots out of. So there's a lot of detail that went into this one, but again, it's a similar idea. It's one of those examples, and one of the reasons why I run the monthly custom built decor challenge is because you can give people the same idea, the same concept, say, make me this, and you will get multiple versions of the same thing. Um, so if I asked everybody to make an arcade game or specifically a pinball machine, we'd get dozens of different versions, and they would all have nifty ideas about them, like this using the colored, the framed glass, the way they're doing it to make it look like it's slanted and everything. Using some of the Soul Frost piping. There's even the Protostar uh, little pad here, the landing pad, I guess is what it's called. Um, one of the Protostar Winterfest lamps looks like. I think that's one of the generator things. Just a lot of pieces that went into this little contraption. Um, for the table, the nautical table, they're using the nautical wheel as the base. It looks like, I want to say it's an Osun piece, some kind of a platform. And then it looks like either triangle pieces, I think, being used to fill in the gaps. And then, of course, using the little NPCs miniaturized to, these being the controllers, I guess, to control the, maybe it's a little fighting game of some sort. Notice the base of the nautical chair being used here too, but as the chandelier. So they insert an Orin lamp into it to make it look like a chandelier. So it sticks with the nautical theme really nicely. Okay, I think get a good shot of the construction of the building here. Really step out without falling, hopefully. You can see it's mostly like boardwalk pieces, 2x4s, a lot of framed glass. Even the building structure on the side, it's a lot of the Soul Frost canisters, generators, and things on. So went this way. The next little room. Um, Again, a lot going on here. The flooring, the like carpet is the tribal mat. The tables look to be, it looks like the bottoms of, yeah, the ship hand benches with it topped with a hover park piece, like the short floors, I think. Same way here. Benches are, I think it's two benches together to make it look like it's got a backing on it. Then, of course, the taco stand actually has one of those, oh, it's the little tabletop grill that you can get, and they've inserted it into the hole there and just added the succulent pig platter and the like the kebab stick in there as well. This is just an exile bookshelf, and they've turned it into like a little refrigerator. So they've added several panels of curved glass and then framed glass, box it in, added the icicles to represent the cooling of it. Then they've got other items on the shelf here. You're starting to hurt. Here's the bathroom. You've got another bookshelf, the Chua one, with the Draken doors, and it makes a nice little functional cabinet. You can open and close it. The towel racks are files, just end to end. And then the handles for the sliding glass doors are Soul Frost piping. This here is, I think it's a combination of an Osun pillar and that wolf, Osun wolf panel. Not the exact name, but it's something around there. Topped with one of the Draken fire torch thingies. I'm really bad with the names. And then the waterfalls to give it the water. It's really an elaborate kind of shower. It's like almost like a community shower, like multiple people could come in and do their thing. I like the little sink setup. It's one of the cellar entrances, just turned upside down so that the wider part is up top. And then they're using just the medical table for the counter of it. And then insetting with a window for the mirror, 2x4 for the shelving there. Really simple but nice, nice little arrangement there. And over here, similar arrangement, and this is just where the toilet is. Notice they got a little TV for the toilet here, even some magazines. Okay, now which way did we come up? I like the little bulletin board here. It's just one of those exile tables. We come in this way? Yeah, I think we did. Okay, so let's go out this. Again, the glass makes me nervous because it looks like I'm just stepping out onto nothing. So let's go this way first. Because I've been on a few plots, they'll have these little tubes running around and then they'll have a hole in it and you fall through it and then I end up getting lost. More so than I probably already was. Wow, that's bright. See that this looks like there's nothing there. Okay. So here's another good overshot. Hopefully I don't fall off. If you're wondering about that lighting effect, I suspect it's one of the haunted windows that does, there's one that does like the sweeping light that's kind of like the train version, like a train is passing by. And then there's another one, it does a flashing effect, and that's more like the lightning, the haunted ghosty lightning window. And I suspect that one is the train one. You can see just the buildings keep going and going. Just imagine all of the work that went into putting this together. Now, again, that Chua picture, the little picture you can get, that doesn't have any collision if you make it big enough. So it's a really fun way of kind of hiding the door. So I guess this is like their little defense system here. A lot of turrets. I want to say this is like a giant uh, parking wire. I don't know if I'm allowed to go out here. You can see the Marauder netting shelf, more turrets. There's just a lot of weaponry on this thing for their protection. And I suspect that's why it's at one of the openings to this little half cave kind of setup. You can see there's a lot of stuff going on. go the other way. So they've got some frost ledges, a lot of soul frost. Gives it that chilly feeling as if this is hyper cooled area. Some kind of a workstation here, giant ergonomics keyboard here with a couple of the soul frost panels. The wolf throne. What this is supposed to represent, uh, just their coordination station for figuring out anybody that's coming in, like this is like the radar to let them know where the enemies are coming from. I have no idea. It looks nice. It's nicely built. This bit, again, it's a lot of the Soul Frost panels, Soul Frost tubing. I couldn't even tell you what piece I saw here. Some of it looks like the circuitry bits. I'm sure they have special names. Let's see. I think that's all of that part. Back down, I think there was another path I could. Okay, that makes this right there. I don't know if I'm supposed to actually jump over there or what. I'm gonna try it, but I'll probably fall to my death here. So it looks like we can jump across, or we can ride the teleport pad, the low grav pads, because this is where we were at the entrance. There's the crud, camera is linked up. The entrance is here, just underneath the double waterfalls over here, and there was the low grav pad fab kit that was covered up with all that other stuff. So this would be a way to get to it. Probably to get this high, you have to do a double jump. Jump and then ride it just before you start to go down again, jump again, and it should get you all the way up to the top. And if you go down the tube from here, you should be fine without taking any damage, just because of how the low grav pad works. So you can see this is where the ships come in. It also looks like there's some little loppy over there. I don't know if I trust myself getting over on that side safely, but I guess I could try it. Makes me nervous though. This is above the actual entrance to the plot. They built this all on top of it. So you've got the double waterfall, and then you have this little cave where the lop is. This little treasure map, and he found the treasure, and he's all happy. Again, most of this is these stepping stones from Starcom Basin. Now, am I going to be able to make it back? Ooh, that makes me nervous. Don't know how much my stomach flutters every time I do that stuff. Okay, for this ship, I'm having a hard time telling if this is a custom built one. It kind of looks it, because I see like cannons here. This looks like a magnetized container. I see some of the ship bits from like the space chase. It looks like the Osun cryopod as maybe the body of it. That looks like part of one of the Osun vents that has like the fire under the grill. So I think this is a custom one, but again, I can't be for sure. It's really hard to tell for me. I'm not sure what they're using for this little bit here. It looks like teeth, like with triangle pieces for the teeth. But I don't know how they're getting that icy look. Maybe some kind of ice cubes that are nicely lined up. I have no idea. That looks really nice and nifty the way they put it together, but it could be just part of the Osun, what do you call it, cryopod, and then they just added some details into it. Yeah, see, I think that's part of the cryopod dome there that you're using as the little cockpit. And a lot of the wings and this little bit here and the little tips here, those are from the Space Chase bits. Oh, let me pop it open. Yeah, it looks like they've got different little panels and ergonomic keyboards and monitors in there to make it look like the cockpit. Trying to see if I could like, I thought this one was like you could open it, but I don't can. And it looks like it's hollow inside there, like you could walk around, but again, whoops, kind of whistled with that. Can't figure out how to get inside. But yeah, it looks really neatly done. Again, it's hard to tell what parts are the cryopod and what parts are added. Like I can see the magnetized container here. This looks like some of that full Sulfrost tracks, the little bits. I see the Marauder bit there. I couldn't even tell you to begin as to what is what, but it's a really nice build. Again, it's one of those things you could say, build me a ship, and you'd get so many different versions. So like there's some rockets, and that I think is one of those medical platforms. The one that looks like stand on it and you get like weight or something. What this is, I have no idea. But people's imagination is amazing stuff. Here we have another sulfurous bit, lots of tubes, lots of the wells, this big old rock here. Figure out how to get in this tube. Oh, go this one, I guess. I think this is the alternate way of getting up here if I was to ride Ferris wheel, which I'm not going to do. Now I'm trying to figure out how do I get to this one up here, that tube. Looks like from that side, did we already go up there? Yeah, I think we did. Okay, we're good. So let's drop back down. I think we haven't been around this part. I need to find out how to get to that. You have the way. Doesn't look like it, but I'm gonna sneak up in there. Hey, Siskly. Yeah, we're just kind of wrapping up. This is the last house for today. But glad you can make it anyway. Okay, so this looks like about that first level, apparently. Well, second level, I guess. So if we come out this way, this gives you a good outer view of the plot, all of the bits on it. And you can see the taurine heads being a lot of that uh, rock face. Notice how they even put in some of the boardwalk pieces to make it look like there's supports for this little track that runs around. We're really high up now. See, here's another shot. Just how complex their little, I guess it's like a little city, Marauder city. That's where that Soul Frost, the like the 4-point room was that you get to up at the tippy top. There's a lot going on. It's like a little exile hideout amongst this Marauder stuff. Maybe they're spying on them. I don't know. How do I get down there? Besides falling down there. Like maybe that side? Of course, unfortunately, you can't actually go in the little lop hut, but it does come from, I guess it's the lop decor kit. Comes with like the Kurg, some of the lops, a lot of these little crates and vases, some of the fencing, and I think even some of the lantern strings. One of the there. Can't tell where exactly I'm get to this from. Don't think it's from over here. Correct. So I don't see a clear path on how to get up to this ledge other than falling from the little bit from above. Maybe here? Ah, here we go. I think this is a little staircase to it. Very tight fit there. I probably would not have found that on my own. Yeah, I think this is one of the more popular times for people to join us, which I appreciate. Just again, with me kind of being scatty due to me being sick, um, even more problematic. Okay, I think that's everything on the outside. We still have the interior to visit. Or did we go down inside there? Gosh, I can't remember now. Let's just have a look. Don't think we've been down inside. Okay, so this is the interior. So there's a lot going. I mean, we had so much to look at on the outside. We're thinking maybe they just took a break on the inside. No, no, no. They went all out on the interior as well. So this is inside the bunker house. You can see that the entrance has a combination of, I think it's that body scanner deal that a lot of people like to use. It's like little elevator transport deals. There's even appears to be the Dominion large scanner thing. There's a little bit of purple, so I suspect that's technophage items. Got the tiki lamps on the side. These posts here, I believe, are from the tiki roof as well. So here you have your first awesome little bit. It's an aquarium set up with the purple rock arch, there's some grasses, The bubbles are coming from, I suspect, either the spore tree or the spore bush. It's one or the other. But they've got like the leafy stalks behaving as like seaweed, uh, kelp um, bits. You've got tentacle plant behaving as a jellyfish. And then they've, of course, got the aquatic plushies, got the shallarks, the sunfish, and that thing called org or something. And then the traditional little treasure chest bottom. A little bit of creepy strain worms or something. Over here we have a little bit of a bar. So they're using the Osun, not the Osun, it's the netted shelf, but it's the one that people like to use for uh, like soccer nets and things. That shelf, it kind of looks like fish netting. Um, some of these are the new Red Moon bits. I don't know where you get these nice little lamps from, but they're very colorful. And of course, the nautical wheel to dress it up. So people can come order some drinks and get started with that. This part here is just lined with the blue light lounge tables. Then you've got a section of the Soul Frost bit, and then it's right on top of the Technophage. And tiki bar for this door entrance covering match with all the other tiki kind of bits. Close this door here. See this nice golden floor. I believe that is the base of the uh, comfortable Dominion bed or cozy Dominion bed, one of the two. Um, yes and no, Siskwi. It changes from day to day. Today's a good day so far. I still have the ear pain and everything. Some days it's worse than others. Yesterday it was mostly neck pain because I sleep a little uncomfortably these days because of the dizziness that occurs. I tend to wake up with a really bad crick, and yesterday's was like horrible. I could barely move my head at all, and it was just very uncomfortable. So that was why I canceled yesterday's stream. But I think we've got about another week and a half before I visit the specialist. And of course, like I said, it's just going to be a consultation, so I expect we'll have another visit after that to actually do anything. I don't know. Just one of those deals. Just take it on a day-to-day basis. So I'm not sure what this is. It looks like the Cassian lamp post, like the upside down of it that they're using for the pillar for this. But I honestly don't know. I don't use a lot of Cassian items, so I probably should. Maybe I would recognize it better. But and of course, this is the wall sconce, the Red Moon version. Again, I don't think it's part of the Red Moon decor kit that you get from the shop, but it's actually some kind of a drop either from a dungeon or raiding or some other sort. But you can see how many of those beds they had to use to make this gold flooring all the way through. So here we have an awesome entertainment system here. You've got engines for the speakers, including the blue light lounge tables. I don't know what the red part is from. I suspect it's Technophage bits, the red version rather than the green. Um, you've got the Macari panel on the bottom, and I think it's a Dominion scanner on the back. There's the Eldon screen on the front here. You've got one of the holographic guys as the character on the screen, and then this little bit on the side, that's again that Gatorade machine, just pushed in just so that you see the little sign, the little logo on the side. For the table, I believe it's one of those new uh, Dominion piece, and then they've inset it with a number of the Eldon, like the Datascape windows, to make this nice little pattern up here with all of the gold. But I honestly can't say for sure what it might be. It might be the bottoms of a lamp, several of them together. Again, I don't use a lot of Dominion decor. It's not because I just don't usually have anything that requires a lot of gold and red trimming. So I tend to not use it very much, but this is a really lovely little coffee table here. Let's see, go this way. Awesome fireplace. Again, um, the floor is that comfortable table, but so is the fireplace. You can see these are the like the back edges. Um, this is the base of it, and they've just sandwiched two of them together to make this very fancy design on the front. Yeah, I suspected that was probably where they come from, Siskwy, because I know I haven't seen them, and I do the Palaver Point Daily semi-regularly, and all you get is like the piping from that. I think I've gotten the pet one, but it's typically those pipes, like the sewage stuff. It's trimmed with the golden arrows, and on the top as well. The interior of it looks to be granite uh, floors, Draken floors, and then one of those Osun vents. Looks like burning coals, kind of. Not to be mistaken with the one that you get from Arctera, which is frozen, so it doesn't have any burning fire inside it. The regular Osun vent has the actual flames, and then of course they've got a small campfire in there as well. Really fancy looking. Now the backing, I believe, is those wall scrolls that has like the silver and gold rounded little bit. They've just enlarged it so you don't see the top and bottom, but it makes a really nice framework for this fireplace. Into the library, and what a library this is. You've got one of the dividers having as like a little backing to this cabinet here. You've got, I think, yeah, you hardly ever see anybody use the little lighter there. Got the chairs with the cigars on them, so the lighter fits in that particular one. This one here, I think, is one of the Osun basins, and then they've got a Draken dome in the center of it, and then top that with a candle arrangement. Over here, I think this is one of those Macari pieces. I don't know which piece. It might be uh, the lamp and then inset in another, uh, like a landing pad, it looks like, maybe. Hard to tell. There may be several pieces there. And of course, they've got all their little sim uh, NPCs on a shelf for display. The bookshelves are just the filled ones, but they've boxed it in with 2x4s, kind of clean it up a little bit. This fireplace is, I think it's the a rusty fence with some dry logs, probably one of or more of the burning tracks for that elongated fire. Um, Looks like it might be the bottom of the lop fireplace for the stone here, or it could be something else. I honestly am not sure. And then 2x4s for the top of the mantle. And then of course you see that they have another lovely little aquarium here. Again, I believe the bubbles are coming from the spore plants. There's the little squatty, like pulsating bush one, and then there's the little tree. It looks like coral bits. This part here that has a little bit of the fencing, not fencing, the rope net. That's just the front end of nautical bed, I believe. Notice the chandelier. I myself have used the nautical wheel as a chandelier with the candles on it when I did my Tangled theme plot, or like Rapunzel. But they took it a little bit further. They doubled it. They made a smaller one just above it and made it a double bit so that they could add more candles. Just turned it slightly so that the two aren't exactly lined up. Very nice. And using the Osun chain links, like for the hanger. I feel like I'm being rude because I'm standing on their fireplace, but it's just to get a good view of their um, aquarium there. Okay, let's see if I can up the. Is that just the window? That's just the window, isn't it? Silly me. Go out the door properly this time. Okay, over to the next section. Appears to be their collection room where they have all of their travel posters on display, some of their ships that they've collected in this nice little display case, which is a combination of Cassian floors. I see uh, the, what's it called, the maintenance platforms, and looks like even possibly the braided floor panels, along with unframed glass and some technophage extras. This here, that's the Imperium shelf slash Dominion shelf. I forget which way it is, but if it's in your inventory, it's one name, and if it's in your crate, it's another. So if you pick up something that's called the Dominion shelf and later you can't find it under Dominion shelf in your crate, look under Imperium. It's probably one or the other. Um, I don't, it's just one of those weird little bits that they never fixed. So here's the kitchen. Again, using those weapon crates. I talked about it earlier. Some were using them as actual weapon crates, and I said that some have used them for fridges. This is a good example. It's in combo with, I think it's the body scanner that's giving that blue electricity bars. They've also added in icicles and frost ledges to again denote that it's a a cold storage. These here shelves are tablets, the computer tablets. For the little sparkles, I want to say that's either the buoyant blue crystal or something along those lines for that. And I think these back here are, oh, what do you call it? The travel posters, I think. It could be like just metal planks as well. Here we have, oh, the strange little contraption. I don't know if this is supposed to be kind of like a microwave or what, but there's a lot of bits here. There's, I see the that video panel 5000 or whatever it's called. It's the one that comes from Grimvault, I think, from the Reputation vendor there. There's the Exile generator that's inside. I think if you turn it on, it'll produce, yeah, the little electricity, like it's zapping the pig till it's cooked. And then once it's done, it pops out off of the conveyor belt. I think that's the Dominion conference table scanner thing. I see this looks like the back side of the Gatorade machine to make it look like a little, it could be the wall generator as well. This is one of those medical, I think it's the medical cot, I want to say, that has that little diagram thing on there. The flames themselves, I want to say they're oversized tiki lamps, but I can't be sure on that. But the burners themselves looks like part of the ship hand lockers. Um, then these parts here, it looks like one of the, I think it's the propane tank has one of these handles, but there's a lot of other items that have those little controllers too. And then of course this is part uh, magnetized containers. And then the framework itself looks to be like oversized tablet computers. Most of this, that bluish gray. See, over here you have airtight containers for some of the cabinets, along with tops of the files for the handles. You have looks like winding river for water in the sink. There's an ergonomics keyboard for the buttons on the side. This is the Gatorade machine. Again, it's a big favorite because of how you can hide the machine and just keep the files visible. This is one of those Marauder TVs with a little screen back here. For this bottle here, it looks like they're using part of the, what's it called, the investigator's desk. I think it has these cups and bottles, and they've just got it hidden just so that you see this part with being able to hide the rest of it. This little canopy here, that's part of the Orin vendor cart. They've just added it in, so that's why you see the apples here. That's all part of that cart. And they've just built around it to make up this nice little kitchen area. So it looks like they've got some of that exotic decor, boxing it in to make it look like a window, or could have been turned into a wine rack of some sort. But yeah, that's part of that Orin vendor. And of course, the two side shelves are just the blue pod planters, good for those that want to represent herbs or some sort. This part of the oven setup, again, got the weapons crate, this time being used as an oven. So you've got a giant hot dog, that's just that skewer thing. Same thing here, it's just oversized and it's sunk down so you just see the hot dog. Using some of this Ixion fencing for burners. And then two of those tabletop grills for the base. I don't know if I'm opening or closing it. I think this is like a part of a bookshelf, top of this part with the brown. Here's another, I guess it's supposed to be like a grill or smoker for the meat. Again, that's the Osun vent, giving off either the vent or the forge or one of the two, combination of the two. For this one, they're using the standard, I think it's one of the fireplace, like stone something or other, and they've added things into it like the chicken, the hen. It looks like it's been color shifted actually to make it look a little darker instead of looking like a raw pink piece of meat. And they've got, again, one of the little shelves for the rack there. Granite curved wall for the little cap. A lot of detail fit in here. That's one of the new Protostar windows. You can use just like the lighting for a particular room. A little rain gutter for a tray over here, maybe to catch any blood and guts that drip off. Kind of disgusting. That brings us to the lounge area. Again, sticking a lot with the nautical theme for the pirates, marauders kind of deal. You've got the little table here. That's the Blue Light Lounge drinking table, not to be confused with the Blue Light Lounge table. The latter comes from like Far Side, I think. But the round one comes from one of the adventures, I believe, like the Crime Lords or something. It's bind on pickup as well, so you can't find it on the auction house. You actually, if you want one of these round ones, you have to actually go and do the content and hope that it drops for you. But you can see they're using one of the strain, I think it's the Morrow tubes for the base of it, which is kind of creepy. Um, Then for this little bar here, it's actually been turned into the fireplace or the little grill or a little pig on the stick. It's just several tiki bars, like one, two, three of them, I think, and then the tiki roofs to frame it up. This is where we came in. See the stairs and that first uh, aquarium that we spotted. So this is the other side. So this is where you'd sit and have your little drink. Bar itself, again, is more tiki bars, like several of them stuck together. One turned one way, two the other way, filled in with bottles and stuff. And then a very lovely little jukebox. I've made one myself, so I know how difficult it is to try and find the pieces that you want to line them up just the way you want them. And this is a fantastic version. It's got a lot of the Soul Frost tubing, a little miniature caretaker, DJ caretaker, a couple of those Macari tables, that nice red animation design going on. They even have a little bit of the Gatorade machine showing through for that little wording there. Um, Several ergonomics keyboards. Looks like maybe a adventure travel poster for the base of that. And then again, more Soul Frost piping, a little bit of technophage, and then hover park piece going around with a little bit of Soul Frost trimming to decorate it. Really nice. And it fits with this particular theme. It has that the same colorings and everything. Really great. Now, if you're wondering about the very large beer bottle here, that again is connected to the speaker found on top, and they've just oversized it, popped it in here so you can see it, and then covered it up. So this is where the big screen comes in handy to kind of hide whatever they might not want showing. Notice they've managed to get Winterfest items in. There's the candy skull has been incorporated in there. But this is the tiki roof um, trimmed with some granite pillars. And then the exile screen. Here you have, again, the tiki bars. It looks like a couple of them sandwiched together. And then using a dome or a cylinder, finish off the table. Got the tiki lamp as the centerpiece of that. Uh, one of the beach towels as a rug. Trying to see if I've missed anything. I feel like there's an upstairs that I haven't found. Ah, there's here. I knew there was more. So the staircase itself is golden arrows, and it looks like I don't know what they're called, but it's like Elden. I don't know. I think of them as like wingtips of some sort, but it's like some kind of Elden pillar or something, like slightly broken, and it looks kind of like a Probably be make good for like bottoms of skis or something. But they're using it as the framework for the staircase. That brings you to the upstairs. See, you thought we were done, and there's still so much more. So this is the kind of the game room. So you got a little arcade game here, it looks like. What exactly it's supposed to represent, I have no idea. But there's, again, a lot going on. I see Eldon. Oh, it's the thing with the green rock that floats and spins. There's some Soul Frost, a lot of Technophage bits. Again, the sign here, that's part of the Gatorade machine. Um, these big wires here, that's part of the Cosmetronic fencing. For the table, they've got it inset with the Exile tactical table. That's where you get that symbol. Again, it's where how they marked the center where the bunker house was. Same concept. But this time they're using it as like a little a play table with the little miniatures of the creatures and such. Um, Here for the bulletin board, it's it's one of those portraits. It's the one with the guy with the red eye, and they've just covered it up with not only a neon sign for the trim up top and a medical cot for this little board here, but also exile floors. They've got the discarded notes, but also the little treasure map. But notice this, even they've changed. This actually usually has a woman's portrait inside the blue little bauble, and they've changed it to be the little, like a little, it actually looks like a gnome, but I don't know what he's supposed to be, like a little captain pirate looking guy. Here we have, you can see that's the entrance or exit in this case, but they've got a little eating area, plenty of beer bottles, this like a tuba desk, got different portraits here. This thing, oh, I know what that is, but I can't think of what it is. It's like one of the signs, I think. And then, again, technophage stuff, different kinds of portraits and things. This is part of the taco stand, I believe. Treasure room. There's that. The same thing they're using for the framework there. Was it? This here. Same portrait. They just covered up the faces all. I think those are some of the spooky eyes from Shades Eve. These here are parts of those Draken cabinets, the closed version, on top of or inset with the datascape window. And then you've got one of the Falcon fire pits inside the mouth of the skull. Little on the creepy side. And this looks like part of a ghost ship, doesn't it? The tentacles, those come from the Palavar Point Daily. I don't know where these parts are coming from. I'm sure it's oversized bits of something. Nautical wheels, lots of cobwebs, spooky windows backing the different Pell banners. Never actually seen anybody use those things, so nice. I usually sold all of them. Again, for a lot of this roping that they have here, part of that nautical bed, I believe. This is that Marauder sigil that we said was the top tabletop for one. This is the Red Moon Pillar. Again, I think these are one of the pieces you get from the raid itself. I haven't seen any of those. The other netting, like this part here, I suspect it's the Chua netting, and they're just inserting it just enough where you can see the ropes. This here, that's, I believe, the Barbie, just oversized and being used as like a little oven window looking thing. This netting here, I believe, is part of the, oh, what's it called? The intestines, the hanging intestines or fresh intestines, I think is what it's called. The intestines are actually up here inside the roof that you can't see. For someone that's looking for pieces of different kinds of ropes, there's lots of things with ropes on it. And if you're looking to kind of tie that all in, I mean, like there's rope here, there's ropes on the bedding, the nautical bed, the chua bits, there's ropes from these hanging skulls. Um, there's ropes on like the granite pillars. There's ropes on a lot of things, but it's interesting to see how they come up with different bits. So like this is one of those circular windows. Now, I think these are just world drops or random. I've gotten a hold of a few, but they're so few and far between, I rarely use them for much. But this is an interesting, it almost makes it look like a sea monster, like the maw or an eyeball or something. But using just lots of those tentacles and a kind of a nice arrangement to kind of accent the window. And you got a lot of the Draken ritual pots. Notice the rugs that are basically behaving like almost like the carpet for this room. Yeah, and lots of different little collectibles thrown in here and there. They even have a little mouse, little hay mouser. Interesting little waterfall scene here. I think that's some of the, I want to say it's the taurine, uh, what's that thing called? Forge. They got a Draken statue in the center of it, and then it's just filled with water. This is hover part pieces and then exile domes, and that's part of the bar here. And then the bed is a combination of two of the comfortable beds, one atop the other. They've got some of the exotic decor dividers for a lot of the trim. And I'm honestly not sure what this is, but I suspect it's the legs of one of the exotic tables or chairs or some sort. It has the same coloring, so I imagine that's what it is. But I can't say for sure. And then the little comfy fireplace, of course, on one of those, I think it's the basin items, and then they insert a small campfire with a weeping fountain on top for decoration. And to make sure that they put the vent. But here you have that view of the library below. Aquarium on the other side. Managed to squeeze in a lot of stuff into the space. I mean, you can see they've got 2x4s for the room here, blocking it off. A lot of detail, a lot of time and thought went into all of these builds. They all have fantastic ideas. I mean, this is a giant cover park floor part here. Just amazing stuff. And I believe that is it. I hope so anyway. If I have toured your place and I happen to not hit everything, I do apologize. My goal is always to try and find every little nook and cranny, but sometimes I do miss things, especially in a plot like this that has so much going on. It's really easy to miss some details and even some areas, especially if it's meant to be kind of a hidden area and maybe I just don't hunt in the right places for it. So apologies on that. If it's a significant amount or if you're really just determined for it to be shown, I'm happy to do retours. It's the same for Javit that I've done for the past year and a half or so, and it's the same for NA as well. Um, but I hope you guys have enjoyed the houses that we visited today. Um, again, this was NA today, but next week we'll be back on Javit for some EU plots. And again, that's the way it's going to run from here on. We're just going to alternate between the factions. So I know for those on EU, I've been pretty consistent with getting through a lot of homes. I mean, we visited over 300 and something to date. I think it's like 330 something. Um, but with me splitting it between the regions, it's going to slow things down a little bit, especially since I'm not really touring like umpteen homes each week. We have time for 3 or 4, maybe 5 tops, depending on how long I spend on them. Um, so I appreciate you guys hanging out with me as long as you do. I know it's not those little 5-minute videos that you can kind of grab it. It's something that you're going to have to sit down and spend some time with if you want to go through it all with us. But I'm hoping that folks will enjoy it. I know many have been asking for us to tour the NA side for a while now, and I kept putting it off and putting it off and saying, no, there's already people doing that. But again, we approach it differently. So I'm hoping that folks will be happy that we are taking the time to visit the plots over here. Again, if you know of any plots, regardless of region, regardless of faction, that you feel are worthy of a look-see on our stream, and I haven't already toured them, feel free to drop me a note. Whichever way you can get a hold of me, you can catch me on Twitter, on Twitch, in the forums, in-game. Um, I'm happy to take a look. They may already be on my list, and they're just sitting in the queue, or it could be I just haven't caught up with them yet. But if you'd like to mention either a friend's, a guildmate's, a random one you came by, or one of your own, I'm happy to add it to my list. Again, I can't promise when um, I will get to it because, again, the lists are growing, especially NA's is starting to grow already. I just started making my queue list a couple weeks ago, and it's already got about 20 plots on it. So it's going to take time to get through them all, but I will eventually get there. If, for example, if you know someone is planning to tear down a plot, change their plot, or something like that, and you know it's going bye-bye and you want us to capture it on film before it does, I will make special arrangements in those cases to go ahead and show them sooner than maybe I had planned to. Because normally I go by the order that I come across them or that someone mentions them to me. It's always the first ones that are mentioned. Those are the first ones will come through. And those that I visit the next day or spot the next day, they're tacked onto the end of the list. But it's not always in specific order because sometimes I'll hit several plots in a row that all have the same type of theme, and maybe I don't want the whole show to be about that particular theme, so I'll skip a few and do it like that. So it's not an exact science, but I promise that the goal is to visit any and all that we come across. So again, thank you guys. For joining me. Again, appreciate the follows, the tweets, the retweets, the votes, and the hosting, of course. I do appreciate that. And we appreciate those of you joining us live, um, giving your comments and everything. Yes, I remember Poi. Thank you for mentioning it, though. I'll make a note to myself so I'm not going, where's Poi? She's late. And good luck with all that. Tell your husband that we're thinking of him and hoping that his surgery goes well without any hitches. But anyway, again, thank you guys for all of the support. I appreciate it. It helps keep me going, even when it gets a little rough. Again, because of the medical problems I'm having with dizziness and stuff, I can't promise that we'll be streaming regularly as we usually do. It's just a day-to-day thing. I just check how I feel in the morning, and if I'm feeling pretty lousy, then I will go ahead and cancel. But I'm trying to make a point to at least keep up with the tours because I don't want to fall behind on that. And I know that's one of the more prized video things that people enjoy watching. So I'm trying to stay on top of that. But again, with the other days, even though I know a lot of you enjoyed that as well, I'm more likely to go ahead and cancel if I'm really feeling pretty bad. So apologies on that. Just if you really want to stay on top of it and to find out if I'm canceling on a given day, you can follow me on Twitter. I usually tweet out at least a minimum of a half hour before. I try to do it much sooner because I usually get up about 6:30 in my morning, which is a couple hours before stream time. So usually by then I already know, and I will try and tweet out as soon as possible so that you guys aren't left wondering and waiting. But again, it's just a kind of a how I feel, if the head is really hurting, if my ear is really killing me, or if the medicine I'm taking is, causing extra dizziness, I may stream and I may not. So at least for the next few weeks, it's going to be just kind of a hit and miss. So bear with me, and hopefully that gets sorted out. Eventually, the doc will find out what exactly is going on and help me fix it, hopefully. But in the meantime, if I don't stream on a particular day, I strongly encourage you, those that haven't seen all of our past videos, to take the time to go through those. You can find them directly from my Twitch channel page in the highlights section, or you can go to the YouTube channel. That's also available. And on the YouTube, I do have them divvied up into different playlists. So I have one that's strictly just house tours. I've got one that's just CBDC videos, showcases for our monthly challenges. There's a few demo videos, but not too many. And then the main one is just everything that we do. So if you find that I'm not online and you haven't seen all of our videos in the past, that might be a great time for you to pick through them and see if there's anything that catches your eye. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for joining. Don't forget, we do have maintenance incoming this afternoon. 4 a.m. PST, 1 p.m. CET, and it's supposed to last about 3 hours, so prepare yourselves for a lengthy little rest from WildStar. Anyway, have a great day. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. No promises. I'll try if I can. If nothing else, I'll see you guys soonish. In the meantime, have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.